Alrighty, so I accidentally messed up a bit of time on the last recording, so I'm just going to start again, and this is going to be a short brief on how to do number 6. So what you want to do is start out with construction lines. What I did was I did a construction line for 200 millimeters, 200, and a construction line for 200 straight up and down, both making sure they intersect the origin. Now what I also did was I took some center points, or rather points as this thing calls them, and put them on each line. Now the reason I call them center points is because I use them to do a dimension between this, like the points, and the end, and half of 200 is 100, so now that point is in the middle. Now I'm going to do the same for this. So 100. So now what I can do here is, now that we've both these points, I can snap these to the origin, making sure that they are perfectly at the middle. If I can click the origin. Alright. Another way to do this is actually select these things in here, because that forces them to snap. So now I'm going to delete these 200 lines, just to clean this up a bit. From here, we have this plus sign in the middle. This is good. So then what we need to do is, you can see we have a total of 63 between the origin or the middle of this shape to the edges. So we are going to create a line just anywhere, make sure it's parallel straight up and down. I believe that was 64. No, 48. It was 48 tall. So we are going to zoom in, do another center point, just select the point somewhere in there, dimension it to be 24. So with this at 24, we can go ahead and take this coincident and slap it somewhere along this line. It really does not matter. So then from here, we need to take the dimension and go from this edge to the origin. And that makes it, I believe it was, how much? 63. So then we have a total of 63 claws, which I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Actually, no, I'm going to keep that, so it will stay good for the future. So now I'm going to drag all this down, so we have it for this lines here. Now what we need to do is we go out 36. Yeah, 36. We go out 36 this way, and go up 9. Along with 36 back. You may also need to click Ctrl Z after this. So then you want to drag these things down or across just to make it more visible for you in the future. So now I did a little bit of brute forcing and found out that this right here, 68, is across from the center point of both circles. So 34 is in between from the center origin to the center of a circle. So what we can do here is we can add a point and just put it there. Or rather, actually a quicker way of doing this would be, instead of adding a point, you would just take a center point circle and just put it down anywhere. Also, the diameter of it is 16. So then from there, we need to take the dimension from the center point up there to the origin. That is 34, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, 34. So then we already have it like this. We have these circles down. So now we need to do a big arc with a radius of 18. So we're going to take these 3-point arcs, or rather, you can go into this little down menu to find them, and find this center point, go all the way across where these yellow lines are, and go across. Make sure the yellow lines appear again. And you want to have that a radius of 18. And you can see, doing that creates this own little special dot. This special dot is really useful, due to it can let us use the coincident and snap this dot to the center point of the circle. So now these are perfectly aligned. From there, we already have this set up, so we'll use a 3-point arc again, go between this and that, and make sure it has a radius of 9. I accidentally snapped it to something wrong. Even I can make mistakes sometimes. But we go ahead and do that, make sure it has 9, so it looks like this. You can go ahead and drag out all your dimensions somewhere if you want to see them easier. I just like dragging mine out to make them quicker. So we have this kind of shape. And from a lot more testing and trying, I figured out that there's going to be another arc that's going to be 13 this way. However, before we get to that, we need to sketch out this rest of the area. So I found out that from this we see 99 and a total of 90 across from this edge to this edge. So 63 between here and the origin, we need to do 90 minus 63, that becomes 27. So we know that the line on here, if we use a point, we can go ahead and have, actually what I would do here is I would draw a line such as this. It needs to be 36 tall, 36, and we're going to use the center point type of thing again. So half 36, that is 18. So we have 18, that's the center of this. Then from here we can go ahead and use the coincident and put it on there. So now this is centered. And since we already figured out that 90 minus 63 is 27, we will use the dimension tool. So from the origin to the center point, that needs to be 27. So now we all have it like this, all tight and cozy. So now we need to do it like this, where we have 36, just drag these things around wherever you really like them. And now it's all close. From here, we can go ahead and use more 3-point arcs and go between this and that and make it 13. Now we go ahead and add we'll move this wherever you want. Then from here, what I like doing is we're going to use the mirror, such as why these big construction lines are here. They're going to help me a bit more. So we're going to select these giant construction lines, specifically the horizontal one. Then we're just going to click everything here. That, to that, everything here. So now you can see this is all darkened because it's a closed shape. So now we just have a little bit more to do, and that is this small bit. And since we already know that this right here is 9, and this seems to be the same diameter, well, rather width, we can just guess that this is 9 long. So we're going to go across 9. So repeat over here. You might need to click Control Z as well. And then we're going to finish up with a line across the top of 36. So now we have another closed circle. And once you're done with all this, it's finally time for an extrude. Now when we're extruding this, I know this is a bit messy. You might want to move your things around to clear it up again. But now that we're going to extrude this, we're going to go to the side of it, or rather go back to the top. I recommend using this angle because it's easier for me to see when I'm extruding. But from here we want to extrude everything in here. All the sides and all the disconnected pieces. And then we want to offset that a total depth of 9. The reason it's 9 is you can see this right here. This is the back view, or rather right view, and that is a total of 9, telling us that between the bottom and the top it's 9. So we do a depth of 9, and you can see now we have this. Now we need to start a new sketch. We're going to go to the front plane and start it on there. Also, make sure for your sketch 1 you're starting on top plane. However, for front plane, which would be this view, we need to go ahead and start with a 30 line. So from this bottom, I'm going to go up to 30. As you can see, it says 30 between here and here. Then we go across 36. Now the reason it's 36 is down here, this is that. So this 36 means that this is 36 wide. Then we're going to go up 30 again. You also need to click Control Z after this. Then from here, we're going to add a 3-point arc. Now through a little bit of working, well, brute forcing again, I found out that it would be 18 for this. So then, now that we have this perfect little arc, as you can see here, we need to do another circle. And this circle is actually the dimension of 16 as this, because all these circles are equal. So we're going to do another center point circle from the center point of that, make that 16. You can even see, if you use your dimension tool, from this circle to that is exactly 30. Now also what you'll need to do is move this 36 out of the way, but you'll need to use the line, and from this edge here you need to go all the way across 36. You'll also need to go down and do all that type of stuff, such as this here, 9, actually that's a bit wrong, rather 9 and 36. But now that this is 9, we have our own little box here. We need to click checkmark. Now this is a little bit complicated, but what we need to do is use another extrude on only this top part. As you can see, the bottom's still left alone. We want to use a depth of 9 and offset it. You can see this is a total of 48 across, so 48 minus 18, which is the total of 9 times 2, becomes 30. So it needs to be a depth of 30. Make sure it's also symmetric. No. What is it again? Half 30, 15. So half of 30 becomes 15, because this is only halfway, and we're starting from the half. So now we have this here. We also need to do second imposition, and you're going to do a depth of 9. Well, rather, you want to do a depth of 39. 39. Make it to where they reach both edges. Now we're going to do a second extrude, but first we need to right click extrude 2 and click suppress. So now it doesn't appear anymore. We need to click extrude again, and this top part you want to click remove. Now it may look weird, but we oh my god, I just almost coughed. But we need to do a total of 30 in asymmetric. So now it looks like this when we unsuppress the extrude 2. Now we have these, and these are both a total of 9 across. From here, we need to now go to the front view and then the right view. So this is where we're going to sketch out this. What I did here was actually really easy, because we already know that this is a total of 36, because this box here is this. So we already know that it's a total of 48 across, plus however much this is. So when we go ahead and take the top view, sketch 1, we need to take these and go from the top of that to the bottom of that. That is a total of 104. Now from here, we're going to go to the side, or right view again, and click a new sketch. Make sure it's on the right plane. Then we go and create a line from this side right here. Make sure it's directly lined up, all the way across to 104. Then we need to go up again, which is 9. Up 9. And up 9. Control Z again. So then from here, I'm actually going to move these to make it more visible. And then we have this right here. So we need to go total of, since it's only 36, we can do 104 minus 36. That becomes 68. So we can do 104 minus 68 becomes 36. Otherwise, half of 68 becomes 34. So we need to go in 34. On each side. So now, as you can see, this view, it kind of has a bit cut off. That's good. So now we need to go down 9. Control Z again. And down 9. So then we have these. Now we have this kind of box here. What we want to do is we do another one across. So this will be a total of 34 again. Well, rather 36. So we can see we have 34 here and 34 here. Now we'll need to go up, since we already have 30. Well, we already have 9. We do 30 minus 9. That becomes 21. Yeah, 21. So then from this, we go up 21. And that line should be exactly in line with these. So 21. You will also need to do Control Z again. But from here, you'll use the 3-point arc, and as we used on these other ones, it will be exactly 18. And then we're going to use the center point circle again, which is already which we already know is 16. So we set 16 to there, and check mark. Now we have this here. We're going to use the last extrude and click this. From there, we're going to do 9 and have a start and offset of, since we know 27 is between the origin and that, 27 minus 9, I believe would be 18. So we check that. Alrighty. So it's just going to be 27. And we have it here. This is the finished product. Sorry if I confused anybody or stuff like that, but go ahead and replay anything if you need it.